Very good afternoon, dear students.
Good afternoon, sir.
Let us wait for 2 more minutes. Meanwhile, others can join us. Then we will start today's lecture. Okay. Let me start. Basically, today, uh, okay, I am not talking about this PPT. I'm talking about first unit. Dear students, is there any confusion about any topic? Hello? Hello? Hello, dear students, I'm talking to you guys. Am I audible? 31 number. 46 number. Hello? Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
So today I will do quick revision of 3 units. Okay. So it's our first unit. Basically, in this unit, it was a very primary unit. Okay, fundamental unit. Over here in this unit, we have seen about fundamentals of ethics. Okay, we have started with definition, then we have compared personal and business ethics, then we have discussed about morality and law, then few questions were there regarding how moral standard formulation happens. Okay, then is we have seen that is there any relation with morality and religion? Okay, we have discussed various etiquettes and professional codes in professional life, and then we have seen about Indian ethical traditions. Okay, so over here, morality. Morality is a Latin word. Okay, it refers to the any aspect of human action. Okay, while ethics is a Greek word, ethos. Okay, and it is nothing but it is applicable to professional behavior, while morality is nothing but any aspect of human action. Okay, so why we are studying this particular subject? Because once you get graduate, at that moment you are going to live in professional world. Okay, either you are going to join some company, either you are going to join your father's business, even you are going to go for your own startup. Okay, at that moment various professional issues will be there. Okay, so this particular subject will help you to resolve various dilemmas and issues in your professional life. Okay, so this subject is very important and can be taught as well as can be learned. Okay, so why? Because it's about your behavior in the professional life. Okay, so its training can be given to you, even you can learn it by yourself. But being an engineer, engineers are called as a professional. Okay, executive engineers, this kind of uh, terminologies are widely used for the engineers. So being a executive engineer, if you are having this kind of knowledge at your undergraduate level, then in your professional career it is going to help you a lot. So this training is very essential, and through which you are going to learn a lot. Okay, now about moral dilemmas. Moral dilemmas are little bit tricky situation. Okay, tricky situation means wherever you are working over there, at each and every day you are going to pass through a various moral dilemma based situation. Or alternatives are there. Among them you are supposed to select. Okay, so to resolve we must identify the factors, gather the fact, rank the moral considerations, and we need to select alternative course of action, and then we need to arrive at a appropriate judgment. Okay, so ethics is very important in your professional life. So definition of ethics is listed in this particular slide. It tells us that the ethics is the branch of philosophy. Ethics is the branch of philosophy that deals with the principles of morality and well-defined standards of right and wrong that prescribe the human character and conduct in terms of obligations, rights, rules, benefit to the society, fairness, etc. Okay, so ethics is very important. So here some special categories are there for ethics: normative, meta, as well as descriptive ethics. So we have seen them in depth. Okay, so now some confusing words are there: beliefs, values, attitude, and behavior. So we have seen them in depth. Belief is an idea that a person holds as being true. Okay, we are believing that it is going to happen, but it is not always the case that it is going to happen. Okay, So, but we are believing like that. Consider your any action of your friend. You can predict that action, and we are believing that he is going in that particular situation. He is going to believe. He is going to behave like that. Okay, based on our own experiences or experiments. Okay. Second is a personal values. Personal values are stable, long-lasting beliefs about what is important to a person. Consider your father or grandfather. Okay. Now, if you are going to ask this question, what is important for them? Then probably that answer will be different for you from your father as well as from your grandfather. Okay. So it is nothing but personal values. Next is the attitude. Sometimes we are calling some person is having too much attitude. Okay, so over here we are going we are going to discuss its definition. Attitudes are the mental dispositions people have towards others and the current circumstances before making decisions that results in a behavior. Okay, I'm having some thoughts in my mind regarding particular person, and without thinking much in other aspect, I am behaving towards him or particular situation. Okay, so my behavior is called as a attitude, and that is nothing but mental disposition. Okay, so a lack of self-awareness or critical insight or preservance of uncertainty about the values can lead this particular thing. Okay, so we were discussing about ethics. So ethics can be categorized into two categories. First one is personal ethics. Okay, so it is a category of philosophy that determines what an individual believes about morality and right and wrong. So it's individual choice how you are behaving, how you are believing, okay, and how you are selecting anything from right and wrong. So it, it ethical expectation often take the form of principles such as concern for the well-being of others, respect for others, trustworthiness and honesty, compliance with the law, preventing harm to the others. These are certain or some of the common characteristics which is observed in normal person. Okay, so while professional ethics are the principles that govern the behavior of a person or group in a business environment, personal ethics is normal environment, while professional ethics is a behavior in the business environment. Okay, so over here it is expected that a person who is doing job or business or anything else, he should have this many qualities in his professional life. Okay, honesty, trustworthiness, loyalty, respect for others, law follower, doing good and avoiding harm to the others, and accountability. If you are just looking towards some of the characteristics of professional ethics and personal ethics, they are same. Yes, definitely they are same. But along with personal ethics, some other qualities are added over here. Okay, why? Because your behavior or code of conduct is going to give benefit to the public, client, member of profession, the profession as a whole, and others dealing with the profession. So over here we have compared them, their definition wise, then various examples we have seen about the professional ethics and personal ethics, and in tabular form its comparison is provided over here in this particular slide in depth with discussion. Okay, so Personal ethics involves your morals and values, which are installed generally during your childhood by your parents, family, and friends. While professional ethics is a strict code of conduct laid down at the workplace, how you are behaving at workplace. Your behavior cannot be same as your routine life or at your home and at your professional world. Okay, so moral is nothing but very important thing. Okay, so there is a close relationship between law and morality for both functional and historical reason. Okay, so we have discussed is morality as a belief pertaining to the differences between right and wrong or good and bad, while laws are nothing but rules of a country or community mandates its citizens follow in order to regulate the society. Okay, so morality and laws are defined in this particular slide, and then we have compared them, and then how morality or values get home. So over here I have said you one story of wolf in the sheep clothing. Okay, and then we have seen about this nice graphical representation of family values. Okay, why family values are important? Because it train you. Okay, and those values you are going to hold throughout of your life. Okay, then is there any impact of religion and morality? That thing we have discussed in depth. Okay, so religion is a belief system based on the confidence in a high power. Okay, and then we have discussed them, and we have correlated morality and religion. Okay, then few questions were there like, does religion increase moral behavior? Okay, that question we have discussed. Then we have seen a few Indian ethical traditions. Okay, like our holy books, our various religions, various motivators. Okay, so over here, first we have started with ethical concept of Hinduism. Okay, so here we have discussed four type of karma. Okay, sanchit karma, prarabdha karma, kriyaman karma, and agami karma. Okay, then we have said about transmigration of the soul. Once a particular person's death occurs, then what happens with his soul? Okay, then we have said uh, purusharthas, dharma, artha, kama, and moksha. One should do this thing in a particular sequence. Okay. So we have said these four stages. Brahmachari means studenthood, Grihasthasra, householder, Vanprastha means forest dweller, and Sannyasin, mendicant. Okay, we have discussed them. Then we have discussed about Hindu sanskars, Hindu rituals. Okay, so over there we have discussed about 14 principles, 14 sanskars, Hindu rituals. Some of them are very well known: Garbhadanam, Jatakarmanam, Annaprashanam. Okay, these are some of the sanskaram, these very well known sanskaram, even Antyeshti or funeral rites, even Vivah. Okay, so these sanskars are known to us. Even Upnayanam. So your teacher is initiating this particular sanskar, Upnayanam. Then we have started discussing about Buddhism. Okay, over there we have discussed Buddhism in detail. Okay, and then Jainism over there, Panch Ratri and Tirthankars we have discussed in detail, and we have said about some yoga darshana and how it is correlated with our life. Okay. Then we have discussed about Gandhian principle of trusteeship as well, okay, in detail. So basically Gandhi ji was the follower of Bhagavad Gita. So we have discussed about that particular thing. Okay, so institutes are there, they are dealing with, they are following the Gandhian principles. So we have listed few of them over here, and we have discussed the meaning or root of the Bhagavad Gita, message from the Bhagavad Gita, and how it is applicable to the organization, what is importance of Bhagavad Gita in the organization. So with the help of particular chapters and verse we have said that thing. Then we have discussed about Islam, business and Islam. Okay, so over here we have discussed various Sharia and interest on the capital and all other things, Islamic bond and all other things over here in detail. It was our first unit. Okay, so is there any confusion in first unit, dear students? Hello. Dear students, I'm asking this thing to you guys. Please respond me.
Okay.
Rishi. Okay. Then let me go to the second unit. It was our second unit. In second unit, we have started with various principles related to the personal ethics and professional ethics. How ethics evolved over the years. We have discussed honesty, integrity, and transparency. Then the comparison or distinction between values and ethics, roots of unethical behavior, and ethical decision making process. So, ethics. Ethics is a branch of social science. It deals with moral principles and social values. Okay, so we have started with definition and concept of ethics. Okay, so rules regulation means law plus knowledge, it means ethics. Okay, professional ethics means in professional world. Okay, so some of the important component of the professional ethics that professional organizational necessarily include in their code of conduct are integrity, honesty, transparency, respectfulness towards the job, confidentiality, and objectivity. Okay, then here some principles are there related to the personal or business ethics: honesty, integrity, loyalty, fairness, caring, respect for others, no follower, commitment to the excellence, reputation and moral, and accountability. Okay, so we have discussed this thing. Then how business ethics evolved over the years. So how this ethics in the business comes into the picture, how it get evolved, that thing we were discussing. So it started with corporate social responsibility. Okay, so corporate social responsibility is about welfare of their employees as well as society. There is one worldwide body called UN Global Compact. It is dealing with business ethics, and various issues are listed in this particular circular graph. Okay, so International Society of Business Economics and Ethics. It's a one another body. It's an international body. Okay, and they are dealing with how business should follow various ethical code. They are regularly organizing various conferences, seminars, book souvenirs, etc. Okay, through which they are creating the awareness. Consider India. In India, there is one body called SEBI, Securities and Exchange Board of India. So it is dealing with ethics in the India. How that body formulation take place, who can be the member of that body. Then we have discussed a few scams. First one was Harshad Mehta security scam, then Charlie Ponzi scheme. Okay, and how that business ethics get evolved over the years. Okay, so year wise we have seen various activities or publications. Okay, so after 1990 it got evolved. Then we have started discussion of honesty, integrity and transparency are the touchstones of business ethics. Okay, so honesty is mirrored in many ways and its reflections are listed over here. So honesty is there, against dishonesty is there. Dishonesty. So dishonesty is nothing but lying, deliberate deception, withholding the information, not seeking the truth, not maintaining the confidentiality, giving professional judgment under the influence of extraneous factors. Then second one was the integrity. So the unity of the thoughts, words, and deed, and open mindedness. These are the various key points of honesty. Sorry, integrity. Okay, and then about the transparency. Transparency in the case of information. Information sharing should be there. There should not be any hidden thing. So something related to engineers. Why? Because being an engineer, we should be aware about these points. So we were discussing about these points about honesty and integrity. Okay, then distinction between values and ethics. So in tabular format we have compared based on the basis for comparison. Okay, so the ethics and values were compared over here. Okay, ethics refers to the guideline for the conduct while values are defined as the principles and ideas that help them in making proper judgment. Okay, so we have compared them, then we have tried to find the roots of unethical behavior. Okay, so how managers are behaving unethical? Why? What is the reason behind it? We have tried to find out that thing. Okay, so unethical behavior depends on the personal ethics, organization culture, unrealistic performance goals, leadership, and decision making process. These are the factors on which unethical behavior depends. So here in this graphical representation, how one can do the ethical decision making. Okay, so collect the facts, discuss it with stakeholders, then discuss it with decision makers, select the alternative actions, etc. Evaluate the impact of your action, negotiate, and then pick up the optimal choice. So we have discussed that entire process in detail and how good decision is creating effect on entire organization or entire business. That thing we have discussed in this particular topic. So is there any confusion, dear students, in this particular second unit?
No, sir.
Hello? Anyone can respond me. Hello?
No, sir. No doubts.
Uh, Third unit just we have seen in last lecture or as well as in last lecture. So right now I'm not revising that particular unit. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So is there any other queries, confusion from your end, dear students?
No, sir. No, sir.
Wait for a while. Let me take your attendance. If it requires, then I will do some scaling based on your attendance. Okay. Uh, see, you can speak your number.
Number 6 present.
One by one. Okay, 6. Uh, yes, why? A batch student, they are very irregular in EMI laboratory.
Number 10 present, sir.
Just listen me. A batch students are very irregular in the laboratory. Even Kavindra sir is also saying me the same thing. If they are not going to attend the lectures and lab regularly, in that case, they will feel huge loss in terms of marks. You can convey this message to your entire A batch student. They are very, very irregular. And I am very strict on the case of marks. lectures and lab are mandatory thing. You need to attend them anyhow. Okay, you may speak. 6.
Number 10 present.
Sir, 7 present.
Okay.
12
11.
present.
Okay.
11 present.
17.
Hmm.
19.
Hmm.
22.
Hmm. 31.
31.
Hmm. 34. 42.
42.
43.
46, sir. 46 present, sir.
49 present, sir.
57 and D2 D4 means.
Yes, sir. 57 present.
Sir, D2 D4.
Okay. Thank you for joining me. Have a good time. Best wishes for your
Thank you,
exam.
sir.